Good morning, ladies and germs and bald-headed worms, as we used to say when I was, 9 years old. We got a bunch going on in the crypto market today. Shibarium, will it launch today? That's the question, and we're going to get an announcement in just a few short hours about when we will see the Shibarium launch. There is a symposium for SHIB today at ETH Toronto. So we're going to get it figured out and we will know an exact date, I feel like, at that time. Also, for the first time ever, the very first company, Coinbase, gets official approval to offer crypto futures in the United States. Folks, this cannot be understated. It's one of the biggest days in crypto history right now. Hopefully it leads to a pump, but it will be, news-wise, one of the biggest days. Also, did Donald Trump have $5 million in Ethereum like everybody said yesterday, or was it 2.8 million? And the answer to that, no, he did not. What he had was about $250,000 worth of Ethereum, but he made several million dollars off of his NFT collection. So he does not have a wallet worth $5 million, despite what some people are reporting. And Coinbase Layer 2 project Base has another rug pull as Swirlwind, a DeFi protocol, pulls the cash, deletes all of their socials, and took off somewhere around 252 Ethereum or something like that. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves. We're asking the question today, will Shibarium launch today? And I don't think that it's going to launch today. Full disclosure, I do think that we're going to hear a lot about it and we're going to get a date today, but I don't think I would think that it would be the worst time if I'm and look, here's the other part. I'm going to say this. First of all, it would be the worst thing to see Shibarium launch today because there would be no FOMO, no buildup or anything like that. They're not taking advantage of the opportunity to help people along to continue to quote unquote pump the bags. So I would not like to see that happen. I would prefer to see a smooth rollout of, hey, we're going to do this in 3 to 4 days. We'll start trading at exactly noon on whatever time. So make sure that you get ready. Now, the other thing is SHIB never does anything the right way when it comes to these announcements. So you never know exactly what's going to happen. Now, about a year ago, people started to FUD complete FUD campaign to say that it doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist. I got a brother whose cousin works for his aunt and uncle's company that works inside Shibarium, and it doesn't exist. Well, how do they work inside there? What does it matter? They don't exist. So you had a lot of these things happening. A lot of people go, my brother works there. Like, for example, CoffeeZilla is in BitBoy Crypto's chat right now, but nobody knows if it's really CoffeeZilla or not. And I was going to say, like, I was going to like bluff my way through this whole thing. But I have no idea what's going on in that regard. Just like everybody else and their Shibarium's not going to launch. And I know that's not the right segue for it, but you know what? I'm doing the best I can on limited supply of caffeine because the coffee's not made. So anyway, we're going to check this out. We're going to figure out what's going on to the best of our ability. I went long. I took profits, and I'm going long again on SHIB, because I do think that there's going to be a nice little run up again today. I bought at like 95, and when we went live, it was about 96.50. So it's already starting off on a nice little pump. So I hope I use lower leverage. I wasn't looking to do like a 50x like I've been doing because I'm not really sure and I'm not really confident or as confident in the price pump at this point. But when we get to the announcement time, I am going to hit that reverse button because it's Shitoshi, and you know. So anyway, first of all, good morning, Richard Caldwell. Kai Schlot's in the house. I bet I Shyster Ocean. Okay. Is going to wipe his ass with the book he's selling and calling it cologne. You know, but yeah, that's a little, well, God damn it. It's a little crazy that that's what he did. Good morning, Maddie B. Jay Manuel's in the house. Keg Drum, what is going on? Magician of CY, what is happening? Magician of Cyprus, Italy in the house. 45 degree temperature. For those of you in America who don't know shit about that, that's hot as hell. That is 1.8. 90 something degrees right now. Jesus Christ. Today is 90 days since Volti Echo's first pull open. We're going to see something happen with Volt today. Jorge is in the house. Good morning. Stig Beaters here. What's happening, my man? Grant Vorshuk in the house. Thomas Brooks is here. Crypto Stevo is in the house. Jeff T is here. True is in the house. Wizard Cell's here. Chris Raleigh's in the house. Do we have like a FUD Volt Day or something like that, Chris? I didn't see it on the schedule, but here you are. What's going on, my brother? Diane. Oh my God. Diamond Nuts is in the house. Joni Metcalf is here, volting it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Laying that Wagme swag. Wagme redesigned everything. Really, really cool looking. It certainly looks really good. Rick Close says, what a bunch of shit. Thank you. I made it myself. Free Pharmacy has a crack house. I do, in fact, have a crack house. And if you need any, Karen Waters is your dope man. So, yeah, hook it up. Doobie Tube's in the house. What's going on, Diggy? Zero Dune in the house. What is going on? The Advantis AI community is out here. When we're looking at tokens and we're trying to figure out whether or not they're going to rug pull or not, that's it. That is one of the big places that you go. Advantis AI. Osiris SGC is in the house. Fishing their bass is here. Alt Snipers in the house. Jeremy's here. Fish Killer Ryo is in the house. 32K top for this year. I think it's going to be near 37. We're going to have a run to 37 and then probably a dip to 25, maybe even 22. Daniel Gayton's in the house. What is going on, my man? CODM and Crypto's in the house. Mark D, 100X Gems representing. Mr. Blue Collar, I have 500 for either Shib or Ben. Where should I put it? Well, you should diversify. You should put it in both. Just find your right entry spot. I think Ben's going down a little bit further. I don't know that Shib is for the moment. If you're going to make a long-term play, either one of them is fine at this point. If you're doing it for some short-term action, then I think Shib's the one that's going to get the pump today, at least for a few more minutes. And then we'll see how that goes. Cy Noth is in the house, says good evening, believes. Torrin James is in the house. Roland's here. Kamal is in the house. What is going on? Hope everybody's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's kick it off with Coinbase official approval to offer crypto futures in the United States. This is ridiculous. This is the day, and look, this is the day that everybody has been waiting for. And I can't wait to see what Coin does in the open market this morning. As a matter of fact, Dow Jones Coin. Let's see what Coin is doing right now. Flat right now at 79.18. So pre-market has it up 4.5% right now. So it's going to have a big boom when the day starts. This is going to be, remember here, this is this is, here's the important part, right? The market, the markets. When the SEC or when you get approval for things like this, the Futures Commission merchant and the National Futures, they've given them approval for everything. So what happens now? 70% of all futures traded in cryptocurrency are probably going to go through Coinbase now. This is gigantic especially for cryptocurrency in the United States. This is a massive day. Remember, futures were allowed by Prometheum, who is now under the gun of the federal government, and Patrick McHenry from the FinTech Caucus, because it looks like, and it appears like, Gary Gensler just created a clever foil, to do derivatives trading, and then they don't trade anything. And the guy, Aaron Kaplan, the pony boy from the Outsiders, he comes into Congress and he's like, yeah, we're the only licensed derivatives trader, Prometheum, baby, and we don't trade anything currently. We don't trade. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's like, it's crazy. And today, by the way, but that was in May. As of today, August, they still don't trade anything at all. They're the only licensed company, and they can't trade anything because the SEC, like, look, this is a scam, right? And Gary Gensler is going to Congress because he now has to answer for this. He's been compelled into Congress to answer the question, why did Prometheum get a license, and why did non-crypto companies, or why did crypto companies get denied? So this is going to be a great day, I think, in cryptocurrency. And I think I don't know if we see like a massive move, but I feel like this is one of those days where the stars align. Like today, later on in the day, Shaitoshi takes the mic again, and he's like, yo, mom spaghetti, or whatever the fuck Eminem says. And he starts like, well, Shibarium's going to launch. And again, I hope that they do a couple of days. I'm not sure it's going to be today, but he's going to come out here and he's going to start talking. And maybe he's not going to talk because it's an AI that talks for him. But, maybe Lucy or somebody comes out and says, hey, this is what's going on. We're going to launch on this day. Everybody get your shit together. And there we go. And like Rick Close says here, one good thing is testnet did get released, and now it's called PuppyNet, but it shut down, and it shut down over a week ago. So whatever they have is ready to go. It's functional. It's ready to start being pumped, right? And here's the thing. The good part about this is, and we're going to get some information very, very, very soon about how much burn there is. We can project what we think is going to happen, but we don't know the success of Shibarium at this point. So the transactions were less than a penny, or around a penny, on testnet, and settled within, I think, 7 seconds, something like that. Great band, by the way, if you're a punk rock fan. Yes. If I judge something based on 60 days in a bear market, yeah, it's disappointing. It is. And by the way, I did have a long conversation with Cassie yesterday. We talked on the phone for about an hour about what's going on in Ben. So I know a lot of things happening in the background. And here's the thing. I still remain bullish because, first of all, I know those, I know the vagueness. And for example, she doesn't say, oh, by the way, on this date, this is going to happen. On this date, this is going to happen. She just kind of illustrates some of the things that have been working in the background, and, how they expect it all to play out. So there's a whole bunch of things that are in that pipeline that they want to make happen. But the number one thing that they have to do is they have to go to a V2. One of the death knells of a crypto that causes a problem is when you ask everybody, hey man, do you want to do hey man, do you want to do a V2? And everybody says no. And then the CEO says, well, we're doing a V2. Remember Milton and Terrarium? I mean, it wasn't that long ago, right? So then BitBoy did the same thing, and people were like, what? That's no, And then, of course, you're crippled because you can't list on exchanges because they don't want to go through moving from a V1 to a V2 because it takes resources for them. All these little things come into play, and it creates a problem. And Chris Raleigh asked the question, what is Volt's circulating supply now? Is it under 60 trillion tokens? I believe the answer is in the neighborhood of 57 trillion is the actual circulating supply. And remember, there is a bridge between 3 different blockchains. So what really calculates everything is the max supply on on the Ethereum blockchain. That's basically the big one, the big dog on the block. Even though BNB burns the most supply, I mean, you really just come over here, the easiest of ways. And the max supply, by the way, is different on each one of the chains, even though it's a shared supply. But you look at this dead wallet right here, and you see 8 trillion. And then you go over to BNB and you see much less. Like it's weird. But I think if you go to crypto coin market cap, it says something like 57 trillion right now. So, but I mean, really, let's face it, they haven't even started. They're just like everybody else. They're sitting in the bear market, waiting for some kind of magic to happen in the market to create some sort of reversal. But anyway, back to Shibarium and everything. When we get to this penny thing, we'll know. What if it's a penny, by the way, then you're going to burn a small with every transaction. Here's the thing. What if business picks up and it's 10 cents per transaction? You're going to be burning 10 times what you predicted. So we're going to need a day worth of data, the excitement that's going to happen. And yeah, by the way, for anybody who's wondering, at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time today, that's when SHIB is supposed to take the stage. But in the meantime, like, we might get random announcements, just so you guys know, because let me get over here and you guys can look at this real quick. This is all of the businesses and all of the people that are building on the blockchain, and that is significant. So, you're starting off right away with a massive pool of, and I did not take the liberty of counting, and I don't know all of the logos right there. So I'm not really sure, but here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that as you start to zoom in, as you start to look around on the builders on Shibarium, you're going to find some familiar faces that are going to be involved on that chain. Plus, you're going to find a lot of different dog tokens that are going to be ready to launch. And I don't know, are we going to be celebrating the very first rug pull like we did on Base the other day? Thank you for the 571. Advantis AI, let's start this day the best way possible. Free to use tool for trade safe. Your past check before investing your money. As a matter of fact, for those of you that don't know, if you go to Advantis AI, Advantis.ai, they have a project called Outlook. You can click on Outlook, and then you can put in the contract address of any cryptocurrency that you are looking at, any one of them that's running along this. Like, if you're deciding, hey, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to get on this Based Games over here. They just launched. We're going to take the token over here, and we'll real quick do this. We'll go to Advantis AI. We'll look at Outlook right here. And then all you got to do is put it up here. Now, you can also just type in the name of the project up at the top. So, that is also entirely possible if you want to do that. But it'll give you the chart over here, and then it will give you a score, and it will tell you as it's working. Like, the top 10 holders, does that all check out? Yes. Is the liquidity locked? Yes. Is it a honeypot? No. That gives you the check mark. And then it gives you, basically, if you want to get the final score, you can click there and get the final score. But you get the liquidity, you get how much liquidity is locked, you get all of the information that you need in order to make an informed decision about a cryptocurrency. It only takes you a second, and it's not going to cost you anything in order to do. But you should be holding some Advantis AI if you're not already. But moving on, again, so 4:30 today, Central Standard Time is when we will find this out. And Coinbase has got the approval, so we should see some real positivity in the market today. Also, we've got Trump does he have $5 million worth of Ethereum in it? No, he does not, by the way. Just so you understand, this is actually a cool ass picture though. Look at this. This is a digitized Trump head using pixel art. But does he have? No, he actually has 250,000, but he made 2.8 million. And what this says is this is kind of a misleading article. He's not holding that much crypto. He is holding up to 500,000 worth. Look, it's crypto, bro. You can't really, how much is it worth? Well, what happens when the market starts to reverse and it starts to pump? So, you know what I mean? And no, not a lot of people didn't sell. A few people sold. I mean, you really have to zoom back here, Anthony. And I don't want to I don't want to be dismissive of you and say no. Like I was joking around with it yesterday just because it drives people nuts and I'm an asshole. But if you're looking at it, you're like, oh my god, everybody sold. Well, no. In fact, I just want you guys to look in hindsight but this was the lowest candle. This candle looks about average. It's about average size, bruh. This candle right here was about the same size. This candle right here about the same size. This candle right here way bigger. But I mean, don't get crazy, size queen. You know what I mean? And over time, you see a lot of it, and so it's not that much out of the realm of normal to see a candle play out like that. And then the next day, we still see a volatile candle, and we're starting to see, after this dip down to 95, we're starting to see the price reverse. For those of you that don't know, I got in at 95.32 down here. So, hoping to see this continued move up here. Now, the one thing that I will say is we got a bearish crossover right here. So they're going to have to do a lot of work to reverse what's going on. Otherwise, this market is going to recognize a signal that a very bearish signal is playing out on the 1 hour anyway. On the daily chart, I think we're still reversing over and not really quite into it yet. So it could reverse bullish pretty soon. I'm still a little bit upset that, I'm not even close at this point, by the way, unless we get one of those just big God candles that start to play out, which we've seen in a few of like the hour things sort of play out here. So unless we get that, then I'm going to be way off on the final prediction. 1200, 4 zeros, 12 could be still in the cards, but we're really going to have to see how it all plays out. But it really was not that significant when you start to break it down. Again, go on the hours here, and you didn't see a wild swing like that in the same context, but you have seen these just as recently as this month. You've seen pump candles that are as big as this dump candle. So I mean, I don't think that you should be concerned right now greatly with what's going on. I mean, you should be looking at, if you're here long term. I would think if you got in very recently, then you're feeling great about your position. If you went long way down here, you're certainly feeling good about your position. If you listen to me when I was telling you way back when, make sure you got plenty of bone, make sure that you got plenty of SHIB, and just get ready for the run. Now, I was not maxing on leash because I'm not as into leash as other people are, because it's a reward thing and I don't need more bone, because I'm basically transactional at this point. So I don't need more bone. I don't need more. I don't need any Shiboshi NFTs. And I'm not going to get in the SHIB metaverse early before everybody else. So it really wasn't a thing for me, and I didn't think that it would pump as much. And really, when you look at it mathematically, it didn't. But it still did have a significant sort of run. So it can't be understated that leash was absolutely killing it, and I did not mention it almost at all. Although I did say that $803 is probably going to be the likely spot for it to play out. But I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is the darling right here. Bone is probably headed. Just consider this: BNB had 200 million supply. Bone has 250 million supply. BNB is the gas for the base chain. And by the way, this is supposed to be out here just a little bit, right? I want to say there. So there's actually a little bit more room, but bone is, just consider this, because right now, once the supply starts to burn on bone, imagine your $1 buy or your 70-cent buy on bone becoming $100. And I know that sounds ridiculous, right? I know that sounds ridiculous. Hey, Maddie B, have a good day, man. I know that sounds ridiculous, but look, it's going to burn. It's the gas that runs the ecosystem. I think that bone is going to be the jewel in the crown at some point pretty soon. The more they tie that into burning SHIB, the more they tie everything into that one ecosystem sort of thing, and they bring it all together, the better off everything's going to be. Like, guys, it's about to get crazy in the SHIB multiverse today. Did I say multiverse? I'm sure I meant metaverse, but let's go with multiverse for right now. Now let's move on again. Coinbase Layer 2 base falls victim to another rug pull. Swirl Lend, a lending protocol, rug pulls 252 Ethereum worth 460,000 and ran it through Tornado Cash, which, by the way, still exists even if it's illegal, quote unquote, to use. So shout out to the Swirl Lend people. Go fuck yourselves, guys. We all hate you and we think you're dog shit. But hey, man, you scored, and I hope you're $500,000. Like, who scams people for $500,000 in this economy? Like, $500,000. What are you doing? Taking somebody to McDonald's for lunch? Like, Jesus Christ, man, grow up and do billions like a mature adult. You know what I mean? Now, the question of the day is, will altcoins pop, and when will altcoins start popping? Now, the reason that we're having this article, and you do see me every once in a while do the pseudonymous analyst, et cetera, right? Well, the reason that I'm doing this one today is because it's Credible Crypto. If you guys follow me on the Crypto War Room, then you know that Credible Crypto is one of the guys that's on the show with us all the time. Anyway, but he tells his 335,000 ex-followers that he's bullish on Bitcoin for now and in the coming months. Bitcoin will lure the remaining liquidity into the market, causing many altcoins to lose value against Bitcoin in the short to mid term. Just like I told you guys, he's also saying, for as bullish as I am on Bitcoin right now, and in the coming months, I'm equally as bearish on alt Bitcoin pairings. 50% drops against Bitcoin will be the norm, in my opinion. Doge, Solana, Pepe, Link, Bitcoin pairings are representative of what a majority of alts are looking like at the moment. In the past few months of a consolidating Bitcoin, most alt pairings have failed to break any significant bearish market structure and are teetering on the edge of an abyss. So there is more downside to your long-term holdings in the altcoin market. And when we get to the end of this, guys, I want to tell you exactly what, if I were you, what I would be doing. Okay, so we'll get into that very shortly. But Lucy says this: similar to Polygon, Ethereum, and other blockchains, Shibarium is open for anyone to build on. Regrettably, this also provides an avenue for bad actors to develop scam, dApps, and rug pull tokens, among other things. The mere incorporation of the term Shibarium or SHIB on their names holds no credibility. Prioritize research, delve into the Telegram, and that's where Advantis AI. Look, it doesn't matter because it's ERC-20 and it's Solidity smart contracts. So if you get a crypto launching on Shibarium, when we do get the announcement, and look, they're warning you right now because something is about to happen. So when you get the announcement of Shibarium, please make sure, go to Advantis.ai, go to tokens, go to wherever you got to go. Make sure you keep yourself safe. How much SHIB do I have? 437 million tokens right now. So make sure that you are safe. Make sure that you're running it through any Solidity smart contract checker to ensure that you are not getting into a rug pull. And listen, guys, there is some opportunity that you're going to have when this launches, okay? It's going to be a lot of tokens that are going to want to launch right away. And there are going to be some of them that are going to pump to the moon, okay? But there are also some that are going to rug pull you if you don't pull out. Don't look for one single token on this blockchain to take you to that next level. Don't look for one token to take you to the moon, because it just will not work that way. It's a brand new thing. You might, and look, I'm going to put it this way, and I hope that this clarifies at least. Some of you made life-changing money on SHIB, right? Some of you are waiting for life-changing money, but if you got into Pepe, only, I think there was something like 7 millionaires were made in all of Pepe. And Pepe ran to a $2 billion market cap. Only 7 millionaires were made in all of Pepe. You have to look at this objectively. Make your money, take your money. Look, the best thing that I can tell you is if you're throwing $100 at something and it triples, take your $100 out so you got your $100 back and you got $200 riding. Or take $200 out so you got profit along the way, and then leave your $100 moon bag in just to see what'll happen. But make sure that you are transactional and make sure you get in and you get out so that you got a little bit of supply. And then if it looks good later on, put money back in on a dip. But just be just so very careful in how you're trading on Shibarium early on. And look, there will be a gem out there. There will be a few of them that are making a big deal out of everything, right? You might see some of that, but I would be very careful. I'm going to be very, very careful in these launches over the next bunch of days. Again, that's assuming that today is the day that it launches. It could be that we get an announcement. The announcement comes at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mila, please don't spam. But yes, it can release today. But the most likely scenario is they're going to tell us that it'll release in a couple of days. So that's what I would expect. 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is when they're supposed to take the stage. So it is 8 hours from right now. So have a little patience, and we should see some announcement coming very, very soon. But remember, the one thing that you're going to do when you get to Shibarium is start trading meme tokens, most probably. So be very, very careful. Make sure you use something like Advantis AI or Token Sniffer or one of these. Make sure that it's not a rug pull. Don't get screwed over early on and get a soured sort of opinion of what's going on. So, but let's move on. This again is the builders on Shibarium. You can see right here that there is a massive list and a massive group that's already building in the ecosystem. So this is a who's who list right now of what's going to be launching very, very, very quickly on the Shibarium chain. And these, by the way, these are pictures being taken from ETH Toronto right now. So now we're looking at we're starting to get a green candle on Shib for, what am I on here? On the 1 hour. So the candle has turned green. Might be in the mood right now for a little bit of a pump. So let's see how the market does. The market is down $3 billion in market cap right now. Bitcoin is stretching it out, not doing very well, still maintaining this lower downward sort of pressure as the market continues to push. Dow Jones is in the positive for today. Let's refresh this and see what Coinbase did. Coinbase is up 3% already on the day at 81.62, starting to have a big rally already. So if you're in Coinbase, if you bought Coinbase early on, shout out to you. Futures trading license is going to go a long way for them. So, but Dow Jones starting off in the positive today. SPY not as lucky. General market sentiments. You got Ben had a reversal. 35 ETH dump from somebody who put 70 ETH in. So if you're wondering if people suck at investing, that guy did. His name was Chaddington Tiny Boner, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering. Volt. 24.95, 25, just bouncing around in its zone right now in the channel. Not much. There's not much margin, by the way, on Volt at this point. So, and there's no futures trading, so you really can't do anything with Volt at this point other than hodl long term and wait for that moment. You're starting to see a real pressure here, though, on Ethereum. Ethereum is not holding up. You look at Bitcoin, and you don't see it bending as much as what you're seeing on ETH right now. So I'd be a little concerned right now on what is really going on with some of this stuff. Okay, so and remember, a lot of this candle, this opportunistic candle that dumped yesterday was dumped because that is exactly the time that Satoshi came on stage and started selling his book. Now look, I don't know if any of you bought the book, by the way, but if you didn't, you can get it for like $20 on Amazon pretty soon. It's the 44 tenets of crypto, stuff like that. Now, starting to see a little bit of retracement on everything right now. We just see a big red candle on Leash. We see a big red candle on Bone. Starting to see a red candle build back up here on SHIB. We'll see how the market broadly holds up right now. The Dow Jones is starting to pump a little bit, which generally means that the crypto market will start to dip a little bit. So yeah, we're it's it's going to be an interesting day, guys. I want to tell you, it's just going to be a really interesting day. But we're going to move on from that. We're going to move on to Bitcoin liquidation, so that we got an idea of what's going on right here. The most likely path for Bitcoin right now is to come down into this 28,000 at least 7 range. Grab liquidity from here and then make another sweep up here into the 30,000 range. I want to say it seems like that's where we're headed. That's the best move. That's the way that it should be going. So we should be able to see this nice little sweep here, where what you see is Bitcoin make this move down here and then come back up in here and, you know, kind of stop right here around 30,200, 30,300 maybe. That's optimal. That's optimal. If it doesn't play out that way, my bad. But it really makes sense that you come down here, you pull some of this liquidity, and then you start to rush your way back up to 30,000, and then you sweep both of those liquidity pools. Now, that being said, those are the longs, those are the 100x, the 50x, the 30x's, the lower, more professional level stuff, the 3x, the 5x, the 10x. You can see right here that the most logical path for this, and this is the big money, is a sweep down into this range under 27,000, and then you come up in here at this 32 to 35 level. The reason that I keep telling you guys that I think that Bitcoin's headed up to 37 is because of this level. That's 37 right there. In order to get 37, it requires you snagging all of this right here. This, by the way, would effectively pump the entire market. So that's the important part when you're looking at this. And this right here, that's not a driver in the market. Those are 10x longs. You know, that's not the smart money, right? The smart money is back here at 23,000. So, yeah, you know, a lot going on in the broader markets right now. So, you know, we'll see how this all plays out, but should be a super exciting day. Let's close that out and on to these. You got Dubai. Dubai having a nice little run. WAGMI starting to run just a little bit. Advantis out there. Grumpy Cat. Not really a lot of movement in these broader tokens, except Ben having a nice little dip. Pepe also just a nice little dip right now at 1211. Probably going to reverse back to 1800 pretty soon. SHIB 96.78. Let's get back into SHIB real quick. We're going to close this out. I want to look at what the market should give us for today. We're a couple hours away from the announcement. So, you know, at one point, zooming out, my prediction originally was that we would get up here at the 15,441. It does not look like that's going to happen right now, but it does look like over the next few hours, if we can get some positive momentum in the market as we build up to the launch of Shibarium, up until, you know, 1 or, you know, some kind of a clock. Chris asked a question: what happened to Volt being listed on 3 top 10 tier 1 exchanges? I don't know. I don't work for them anymore, so I can't say. And nobody ever told me anyway. All I was told was that in the phase 5, that there were 3 top 10 exchanges, and I think Gate.io was one of them, and they were listed on Gate.io. So if you mean what happened to the 2 remaining ones, I don't know. You have to ask them. But I do think that there's going to be a move that we'll get as we get closer to it. But now it looks like it's maybe this at best, maybe back up into this range at the absolute best. Maybe that's, you know, and then we're going to see something big that might happen here. And here's the thing. This is when we're really going to see the burns happen, and that's when things will really matter. So I think that we get a little run coming up into this range or this range right here today, and then after that, we'll probably sell the news, come back down, at least retest the level that we're at more than likely right now, unless Shibarium is launched. And if it's launched and everybody can go over there and start burning tokens, then I think everybody's going to be looking over here, and this is like, I mean, this is going to be kind of where you go, right? You're going to want to come over here to Dex Tools or your favorite, whatever you use. Come over here. You're going to look at SHIB. You're going to start looking at these total circulating supply over here. You're going to look at the max supply, and you're going to look at the dead wallet, because you're going to want to see on the holders what's in that dead wallet. Right now, it's 410 trillion. You're going to want to see, is that 41.03%? How does that start to tick? And that's when we're going to start doing all of the math and trying to figure out exactly how much we're going to be able to burn over a period of time. So I get the sense here that we're in a it's going to be a big moment. It's going to be a big moment when we start to get the math, because the math is going to predicate exactly how excited people are going to get. And if people get super excited by watching the circulating supply and seeing that go, then that's when we're really going to start to see maybe some real flow to the Shibarium price action. Like, this is at this point now, we got to consider it's just going to be long term, right? So that moves to the day, and we look at the day chart right here, and we see that we didn't even hit, by the way, the resistance level, which is down here in that 91 level at this point. But we're in this. This is kind of, karma, right? But it's moving up like this, and this is going like this. So you can see right here, that's where that crossover might be happening into bullish territory if it continues to play out the way that it's playing out. If not, it could get a little bit crazier. But we're steps away from a big run for Shibarium if this plays out. However, for those of you who are short-term holders, do recognize that there's a limited amount of pump that's available right now. So you might get into this range right here, but remember that you're probably coming back down for another retest right after the announcement. And that announcement is at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard U.S. time today. That's when they're supposed to take the stage, and that's when we're supposed to find out a little bit more about what's going on. But that's it, guys. That is the wrap on the day. You guys have a great day. This is not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold like the keg